Hey everyone, welcome back. Afternoon time. So we've had our breakfast in our ceramic egg cooker. So now we're going to move on to maybe an afternoon snack. Thinking it's more of like a dessert. I just kind of came up with this recipe. I kind of mirrored it a little bit after the recipe that's online for the lemon blueberry muffin in the ceramic egg cooker, but I'm actually going to use cake mix. And I made one. I tried it. Made lemon and blueberry. So I'll just set it there, and so I can show you. That's the finished recipe. It turned out really good. And I actually am using. When you look at the recipe online, it's going to call for actually flour and sugar and some baking soda. I just measured out those amounts of the ingredients. It was like 3 tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and some baking soda, and it came out to about 1/4 of a cup. So I just substituted that with 1/4 of a cup of cake mix. So because I was doing the lemon blueberry, I decided I would go ahead and buy like the lemon supreme cake mix. So obviously, since I only used 1/4 cup of it, I have a ton left over. So I was, oh goodness gracious, looking through my fridge, kind of trying in the pantry, seeing what I had. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and scrape this off on the board. I have it mat down, so hopefully we'll be able to save that and scoop it into the bag. If not, it's alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure out that for as far as our dry ingredients. And again, I apologize for the lighting and the sound is horrible. I do have a wireless like clip-on mic, but my tech guy, Mr. Richardson, is traveling this week in California, so unfortunately he's not here, and I can't figure out how to hook it up. So, but we are going to follow the recipe as far as some of the other ingredients are concerned. So it does call for 2 tablespoons of butter. I generally buy unsalted butter. That way, when I'm baking, I can control the salt content and whatever it is I'm cooking. So I have 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and I'm going to go ahead and pop them in the microwave. And for this recipe, we're not going to use the lid at all. So this is going to go uncovered in the microwave for 15 to 30 seconds. It took a little bit longer than 30 seconds last time for me to melt it. So I'm going to start at 30, and then we'll see. We may need to go for 15 more. So give me one sec. So because this recipe is made with the cake mix, you really could use any type of cake mix, and so then your like add-ins would be almost endless, and that's not gonna work. So we're just gonna discard that. It's okay, but we do have a ton of this lemon yellow cake mix. I don't know that I would save it too awfully long. Maybe put it inside of a Ziploc baggie. I am going to use one of my handy dandy clips from Pampered that are available. These are super old, so all that in there. The colors may have slightly changed, but the functionality is the same, and they still work after all these years. So, but what I was saying is because I'm using a cake mix, this is the lemon, but you could use, obviously vanilla, chocolate, white, any kind of cake mix, and then that could, change up your mix-ins. Mini chocolate chips, marshmallows, graham crackers for like the s'mores cake, Heath bar bits. Pretty much it's endless. This one we're going to go for lemon raspberry. So let me grab this butter and see. This microwave does not stop. Alright, there we go. Perfect. So 30 seconds in the microwave. And we've got our butter, 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And then I'm going to take my 1/4 cup of my cake mix, whichever type you would desire. This, like I said, is the lemon supreme. We are also going to add in and stir this together with our butter, and we're also going to add in a egg yolk. And what I'm going to do is actually separate this egg over. Let me move this guy over here. We're going to separate the egg yolk and try to save our white into this small silicone prep bowl. So like I just made, oops, kind of broke our egg yolk. It's okay. Get him in there. Excuse me. Trash. So now we have our egg white saved, and I just made the lemon example, so that had an egg white as well. So what we could do then at this point, I'm so sorry, is just pop the lid on that, and then here you'd have 2 egg whites, and you could use that for in the morning to make your egg white omelet in your ceramic egg cooker. So we've got batter, and now we need a tablespoon of milk, and this is what is called for by the recipe for the muffin on Pampered Chef. Then we're going to use our adjustable teaspoon to measure out a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So what we're going to do is with our little mini whipper here, which is perfect for this. It fits in here just perfect. Whisk this up. And so try to get as many lumps out as possible. You're dealing with cake mix, so normally that would be blended up in your blender, but not really possible here. So I'm actually going to grab that. I'll just grab another cutting board. We need that for our lemon zest. So, because this is or actually I'll use this plate. A raspberry white chocolate cake is what we're going for. So that's pretty well mixed. So I'm gonna just put this blender back here in the sink. And so I don't know if you've seen any of my videos before, but I normally try to not keep my citrus in the fridge. If I can help it, I'll keep it out on the counter so it's room temperature. If I do put it in the fridge, then I'll just pop it in the microwave for a couple seconds, 10, 20 seconds maybe, just to heat it up a little bit. And so that way you're going to get a lot more juice out of your lemon. In this case, obviously, we're just going for the zest. We need about a teaspoon of zest. So it's not really applicable tip to this, but I definitely wouldn't toss this out. We're going to be using probably about most of the zest off of this lemon between this recipe and the last one. There we go. It's definitely a teaspoon. So one thing you just want to make sure when you're zesting lemons is you don't go too far. You don't want to go real far down in to the white part because that gets bitter. So you just want to get the zest off, not the pith is what it's called. And that's the white part underneath the yellow lemon zest. So we're going to add that in. And then for the raspberry, I'm so sorry about this, the lighting. For the blueberry, it said add about 2 tablespoons of blueberries, but it's really difficult to measure those types of ingredients. So for the blueberry one, I just added a little handful, and I've got small hands. So I'm going to add 2 there. But on this one, I'm also going to try, we'll see how this turns out, to add a little tablespoon or a little scoop there of white chocolate chips. So, because I got rid of my blender there, I'm just going to stir this up. This handy dandy butter knife, just now dirty. And I'm going to add a couple of raspberries so let's see if they stay on top. And so we can use them up. And it's my chocolate. So now what we're going to do is cook this in the microwave uncovered. I'm going to cook it for a minute, and what we're looking for is that the cake is going to bounce back when you touch it. So you want it to be nice and set, but still moist looking. So I had to go a little bit longer than the 1 minute, which does say on here to go for a minute and then check it and go for 15 seconds increments after that. So we'll try 1 minute and then I'll be right back and then we will get this going. 1 minute uncovered, full temp. Go ahead and get rid of my knife here. I didn't end up needing this bowl. Excuse me. Okay. And one thing I don't know if I've showed you, but this is the Pampered Chef coated utility knife, and all the knives in this set do come with the nice knife guard. So definitely it's safe if the little hands were to try to go in and reach this in a drawer. So that is one nice thing that those do come with that. I'm going to go ahead and place these egg whites in the fridge for tomorrow morning. So that's a great tip. And that's definitely one of the ways you can plan ahead. So, if you used it this morning or if the kiddos used it after school to make a quick snack, just keep saving those egg whites and then you will definitely have them prepped and ready for in the morning. So let's check this out. Let's see here. Alrighty. So the top it's still a little moist. It's definitely set up. I'm not going to try to bounce it back because it's still kind of bubbling. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to set it for another 30 seconds. So it was a minute the first time. I'm going to set it for 30 seconds this time and hopefully that should just about do it. Okay. I'll pop this butter in the milk, in the fridge before it melts here on me. And there's all kinds of ways you could dress these up. With these remaining white chocolate chips, you could melt them and put them in the drizzler that we have, and that would make a really nice presentation as far as on top of your mini cakes if you're serving them, at a dinner party or, just for your significant other. So I'm going to grab a plate out of my paper cupboard here. Sorry about that. And a new knife, since we used ours for mixing, which is not the appropriate tool for the job. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is the ideal tool for this job would be your cake tester and releaser, but I don't yet have that. I just ordered some, so hopefully they will be coming. So we're going to see how this turned out. So now the recipe instructions say for your muffin that you could either eat it directly out of the egg cooker. Obviously, let it cool down. It is rather warm. Or you can just run the tester around or the knife around like I did and then kind of turn it out, if you will, on this plate. So there's how that one turned out. Now I will say that I have noticed that you do have quite a bit of residue. I'm sure you can see it even from back there. So my recommendation and what I did with the lemon blueberry is immediately run it under hot water and let the water just kind of sit in there. And then honestly all I did was take the mini whipper and place that in there as well. And then once they sat, I just kind of whisked it all around with a little bit of dish soap. And then used a scrub brush and scrubbed on the inside and it was done. It was really easy cleanup. Really wasn't too difficult at all. So even with no additional, nonstick spray or anything on that one, it, came out pretty well, especially for the chocolate and all being in there. So here you can see my two experiments. We've got the blueberry lemon zest and lemon cake example that I made. And then this one doesn't look like it turned out as well. It's a little mushy. It's kind of wet. I think the raspberries, turn that water off. I think the raspberries are a little too wet, so back to the drawing board on that one. Strawberries, I can see maybe having the same problem. Maybe freeze-dried fruit would work with that. I don't know. Might still be tasty, so cut it in half for you here so you can kind of see. So it's definitely mushy. Too many raspberries. Way too many. I think that's the problem. I went a little overboard. It's like a raspberry explosion. But I'm going to try it. Make sure I get some white chocolate chips. It's hot. It has good flavor because the raspberries are kind of tart. So the white chocolate kind of balances those out because they're really sweet. I just added too many raspberries. And I really do like the lemon and the lemon zest added in there as well. Those help with raspberries too, but too many raspberries. So, it's all about trying and error sometimes. This is the blueberry and lemon cake that I made earlier. So, I know these are not as healthy probably as the muffin examples that are posted on pamperedchef.com. That one turned out really, really good. Could be a little moister, a little more moist. I think that's the more proper way to say it. But it did turn out good. It has really good flavor. The lemon flavor came through really nice. I used that same cake mix with this, the same lemon zest. So it's really good. There really is no published recipe out there for this since I kind of adapted a recipe together. So here's what I have put together just based on looking at the recipe that was online. So just based on that muffin recipe, vaguely, 1.25 cups of any cake mix seems to be about the appropriate amount of dry ingredients, using like a pre-mixed boxed mix to get a single serving size cake like we have here. And then the 1 egg yolk also seems to work out well as a tablespoon of milk. And then I did forget to list on here 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract as well. And then as far as the mix-ins, you really are just limited to your imagination. It's trial and error. As you can see, my little raspberry version here didn't turn out too well. But you could really do anything. I've seen a couple of pumpkin type recipes, which I'm going to check into a couple of those maybe tomorrow. But also, mini chocolate chips, like I said before, s'mores option. So, we also there is an actual cake recipe on Pampered Chef, which doesn't actually call for any type of flour. So it's really just cocoa and chocolate chips. So I'm going to try that as well in another sweets edition. This was started off like a muffin, but kind of turned more into a cake, muffin-y type thing. Certainly you can follow the Pampered Chef recipe. I have it here really small, but you can see it's directly off the Pampered Chef website. It's the blueberry lemon microwave muffin, and that is made specifically for the ceramic egg cooker. So you can just look that up on pamperedchef.com, go to recipes, select products, and then select ceramic egg cooker. And I think there's 6 options in there, and this will be one of them. You can either email it to yourself, you can print it. So you should be able to find it pretty easily. If you cannot, please contact me and I can get it for you. But again, here's my personal information. I'd be more than happy and glad to help you with any of your Pampered Chef needs. Hope you found this enjoyable, even though you kind of saw me fail a little bit with my raspberry white chocolate massacre there. It's all about trial and error, and you're in your own kitchen, so you can really do whatever you want. Still tasted good. It was just kind of mushy. But anyway, I hope y'all had a good Friday afternoon. Probably the last time I'll see you today. But I hope you take care. Have a safe and healthy and happy long weekend. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.